Hi, welcome back. I'm Melissa Muir. In my last video, I showed you my top 5 favorite accessories for the flex shaft. I also showed you that you could use that with any number of hand pieces. In this video, I'm going to show you my top 5 favorite accessories for the Foredom BL or bench lathe. Now, the thing I like about this bench lathe is that it's small, so the footprint is small, but it does not sacrifice the speed or the torque. It goes up to 7,000 RPM and it has really good torque. I have tried and tried to stall it, and I have not been successful yet. So I really do like this machine, especially because of its small, lightweight portability. While I can do a lot of the polishing and grinding processes with my flex shaft, it's going to take much longer, especially if I'm working with larger pieces. So I find that the BL is definitely going to speed things up for me. As I stated, it's very small, and you can see this right here. I also like that it has variable speed, so it can go up to 7,000 RPM, but I don't always have to go that high. And you should always look at your accessories that you're using to make certain that you're not going too high for those. Now, first and foremost, my very favorite accessories to go along with the BL are going to be these hoods. Now, this first hood is the smaller one. It's also a lot less expensive, and it can go on either side of the BL. This is meant to hook up with a dust collection system, so that's going to be like my MAD C20 or any other kind of vacuum system that I have. It has that 2¼ inch connector. It makes it really simple to use. Now, this unit is lovely because it's all-in-one contained. I have multiple filters in here. It has an adjustable speed as well as a light that's going to come on as soon as I turn the machine on. It's got a lot of powerful suction. It's nice and quiet, and again, it's quite portable and small. The BL can be used on either side of the machine, so making this quite versatile. And typically, I'm only using one spindle at a time anyway. Dust collector hood also has an acrylic shield to kind of help protect you from anything that's going to be flying back at you. It comes with 3 different filters, and I like to double stack mine. So in here, in the insertion point inside this machine, I keep the high MERV rating filter. And you can see it's got quite a bit of gunk on there already. But I also do a pre-filter, so I just have sitting right here in front another filter, and this one's going to catch my large particles, and then by doing this and stacking this like this, it's going to allow my pleated filter to last much longer, because now it only needs to collect those fine particles that come through that larger particle filter. One of my favorite accessories are these unitized wheels. You can think of those as a compressed Scotch-Brite, so you can actually squeeze them a little bit. There is a bit of give, and there's multiple grits, so I can get a really good smooth finish on these. These are going to be used to remove burrs, any kind of oxidation. I can use them to smooth out surfaces, as well as just kind of smooth things down if I've gone at it with a belt sander or even a really coarse file. Because of the composition of the unitized wheel, if we were to continually try to put this onto our BL, the spindles would work their way all the way through this and you would not get a good secure connection. So for that, they have the plastic hub on here, and that's going to increase the longevity of these. Now, you also have to be very careful not to push your pieces too hard on this. Just bring your pieces gently to the unitized wheels and let the wheel do the job for you. Don't be pushing it. If you start pushing, you're going to go through this wheel very quickly. My next favorite accessory is going to be my radial discs. Now, I showed you that these were also some of my favorite for the flex shaft, but I love them here on the bench lathe. And you can see I have one set that is used far more than the other. And you can see that I have one wheel that is used probably far more than the other as well. Now, this gives us a whole range from 80 grit all the way down to 1 micron. So we can take our work to almost a fine polish, and then all I have to do is hit it with some rouge after going through these steps. Now, the thing I like about these radial discs over even the unitized wheels is that I'm going to be able to get into curved surfaces or surfaces that have a lot of detail. When you're working with those unitized wheels, they're so thick and they're coarse, and you can't really get into tight areas. These are going to remove small blemishes, small scratches, nothing really deep. These will also help to blend and smooth out any burrs that you might have on a piece. If you go with some of the more coarse wheels, then you are going to be left with more of a satin finish, all the way, like I said, almost to a fine polish with some of these others. Now again, you'll notice that I have two, and also notice their hub colors, and that is the difference between them. The black hubs are meant to go on the right side of our spindle, whereas the gray are marked with an L, and they are going to go on the left side. It does matter which direction this is spinning, because when it spins, if you are going against the bristles, they are going to splay out and break off, and they're not going to be effective. But when you go with them, that's when you really get the magic of this particular accessory. You can buy these individually, or there are kits that you can buy that is going to have a full selection of these, as well as multiple hubs for each of the different colors. Now, another thing I want to point out, just like in the accessories I used for the flex shaft, where I said I would use at least 3, well, when I'm working on a hub like this, I'm going to work in stacks of 4 to 6. And in my case, I really like 6. It gives me a wider reach for these, and it also just really gets in and gets to work a lot faster with the more you have. Now there's a kit that's been put together by Werner, who is a very talented jewelry artist as well. And he put together a kit that he really liked of things that he would use the most. If you recall, I said that the gray hubs are for the left side spindle and the black are for the white. So it comes with enough hubs for you for the left side, or it comes with 2 for the white in case you want to have a couple of them going at the same time. In addition to that, it comes with a bar of platinum blue and platinum white polishing compounds, 2 felt buffs, as well as 2 cotton muslin buffs. Between all the accessories here, you should be able to get a really high fine polish on your pieces. One of my favorite things about the bench lathe is how versatile it is. I can come in here and remove either one of the spindles and use various number of accessories, one of which is called the Flexade. To attach the Flexade, I just open up the small screw here and close that back down. And now what that allows me to do is to have a flex shaft that goes up to 7,000 RPM. It's important to note that it can only run off of the right hand side, which will allow this to run forward. So you should never run this one backwards. With the Flexade attachment, I can now insert one of my hand pieces and use this just as a regular flex shaft. In addition to having any number of buffs available to me, I have a couple of others that I would throw into my favorite category. And before I do that, let me tell you really quickly, as far as buffs go, you should never go above 4 inches. If you go above 4 inches and you start spinning on this 7,000 RPM machine, that outer surface is going to be spinning far too fast. And did you know that even though these are 4 inches, because they're smaller and this machine goes much faster, you get that same type of speed as if you had a 6-inch buff on a larger lathe. However, you still have all the power and torque right here in a smaller machine. So let's talk about the last 2 favorite accessories. I love being able to go inside of my rings and inside of my bracelets. And these felt buffs, you could also just run them and bring your pieces to them anyway. It doesn't have to be a bracelet or a ring on the inside. However, these definitely make very, very fast work of my cuffs, my bangles, as well as all of my rings. These are made of a hard felt, and I have a number of them for different compounds. These happen to belong to my platinum white compound, and I've just marked it here on the wooden part of this so that they don't get confused. And when I'm all done, they all go into my platinum white bag along with any of my polishing accessories and the bar of platinum white itself, and that way I can keep everything separate from any of the other polishing compounds in my studio. I hope that helps you understand some of the things that you can do with this BL. Now that's not even close to half of it. There are so many different accessories on this machine, but these happen to be the 5 that I use the most here in my studio. I also have additional accessories that are going to allow me to use basically like a quick change type of setting. I can put in different size collets for different accessories, and I can use all the way up to like 1/4-inch mandrels in some of these. And that's going to give me now access to other types of sanding and grinding accessories that I cannot use with just the spindles. If you already have a BL or some kind of a bench lathe, let us know down in the comments. What are your favorite accessories? What would you add to this list if you were doing this video? If you like this series of videos, please like it. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe, ring that bell, and mark that you want all notifications so you don't miss any more in the series that we've been doing. We'll see you guys next time.